For 4 years, Sarah's father had barely said more than a handful of words to me at any family gathering. Polite, distant, unmistakably unconvinced I was good enough for his daughter. Then Lily spiked a fever of 104 degrees at 11 at night, and the first person who showed up at our door wasn't who I expected at all. My name is Ryan Mitchell, and this is the story of the night I learned that sometimes the people who doubt us the loudest are just waiting for the right moment to show us otherwise. Sarah's father, Gerald, was a retired engineer, precise and reserved, the kind of man who measured trust in years, not gestures. From the moment Sarah introduced us, I could feel his skepticism. A divorced single dad with a complicated custody history wasn't exactly the son-in-law he'd pictured for his only daughter. He'd come to the wedding, stood politely through toasts, shaken my hand with a firm, brief grip. But 4 years in, our relationship remained cordial at best. Holiday dinners passed with careful small talk, never quite warming into anything resembling closeness. "He'll come around eventually," Sarah always told me. "He just takes a long time to trust people. It's not about you specifically." I appreciated the reassurance, but 4 years of careful distance had started to feel like a verdict rather than a slow process. That Tuesday night started ordinarily enough. Lily had seemed a little warm at bedtime, nothing alarming, the kind of low fever that usually resolved with rest and fluids. But around 11, her cries pulled both Sarah and me out of bed instantly, something clearly wrong in the sound of them. Her forehead was burning. The thermometer read 104.2. "That's too high," Sarah said, panic edging into her voice as she scooped Lily up, who was flushed and unusually listless in her arms. "Ryan, we need to go now." I grabbed keys, shoes, anything within reach, my own training kicking in to keep my hands steady even as fear tightened in my chest. Jake, woken by the commotion, appeared in the hallway, immediately alert. "Is Lily okay? What's happening?" "High fever," I told him quickly. "We're taking her to urgent care. Can you call your grandmother, ask her to come stay with you?" While Sarah worked to soothe Lily and I searched for my phone, our doorbell rang, startling all of us. It was well past 11 at night. No one we expected would be showing up unannounced. I opened the door to find Gerald standing there, still in pajama pants and a coat thrown on hastily over them, his car still running in the driveway behind him. "Sarah called her mother in a panic a few minutes ago," he said, without preamble. I was already in the car before she finished the sentence. "What do you need?" I stood there for a moment, genuinely stunned. "Jake needs someone to stay with him. We're taking Lily to urgent care right now." "I'll stay," Gerald said immediately. "Go. Don't waste time standing here talking to me." The next hour passed in the particular blur that only comes with a sick child. Waiting room chairs, a nurse's careful assessment, the relief of hearing, "likely a virus, nothing dangerous," even as the fever itself remained frightening in the moment. Sarah held Lily through most of it, exhausted and pale herself, while I handled paperwork and questions, my mind only half present, the rest of it still back at the house, checking on Jake. Around 1 a.m., with Lily finally settling after medication and fluids, Sarah's phone buzzed. A text from her father. "Jake's asleep on the couch. I'm staying until you're home. Don't rush. We're fine here." Sarah showed me the phone, her eyes filling with tears that had nothing to do with exhaustion this time. "I don't think I've ever seen my dad move that fast for anything." We arrived home a little after 2 a.m., Lily finally resting comfortably, fever beginning to break with the medication. We found Gerald sitting in the living room armchair, a book open but clearly unread on his lap. Jake asleep under a blanket on the couch nearby. "How is she?" Gerald asked immediately, standing. "She's going to be okay," Sarah said. "Probably just a virus," the doctor said. "Thank you so much for coming, Dad. I didn't even ask you to. I just called Mom to vent, and you were just here." "You're my daughter," Gerald said simply, as though this fully explained everything. "And that baby upstairs is my granddaughter. There wasn't a version of tonight where I wasn't going to show up." He glanced toward me then, something shifting slightly in his usually guarded expression. "Ryan, can I speak with you for a moment?" Outside, we stood on the porch together in the cold night air, an unfamiliar quiet stretching between us before Gerald finally spoke. "I've watched you for 4 years," he said, "waiting, I think, for some sign that I was right to be cautious, that you'd let Sarah down eventually, the way I worried about since she told me her history with someone before you." "I know," I said honestly. "I've felt that watching, if I'm being honest. Tonight, watching how fast you moved, how calm you stayed for that little girl, how naturally Jake trusted me enough to fall asleep in my care without a second thought. I think I've been measuring the wrong things this whole time," Gerald said. "I was so focused on your past that I never gave proper weight to the man actually in front of me, every single day, for 4 years. I'm not asking for an apology," I told him. "I understand wanting to protect Sarah. I'd do the same for Jake, for Lily, without hesitation." "I know you would," Gerald said. "That's exactly what I saw tonight. I'd like to start over, if you're willing. Properly, this time. Not just polite dinners and careful distance." "I'd really like that," I said, and meant it completely. We stood there a while longer, the porch light casting a warm glow over what felt, for the first time, like genuine common ground instead of careful tolerance.